Beloved ones, I want you to know that nothing in your life is by chance. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every belief you hold is shaping the conditions around you. If you look at your life and see lack, it is not a punishment, nor is it fate. It is only a reflection of what the subconscious has accepted as true. And here is the great secret. What the subconscious has accepted, it can also release. What the heart has clung to in fear, it can surrender in faith. Tonight, as you rest, you are not merely closing your eyes to the world. You are opening them to the invisible realm of supply, the eternal abundance that flows without measure. You are entering into a holy silence where wealth is not something you chase, but something that is drawn to you as naturally as the river runs to the sea. This meditation is not a simple ritual of relaxation. It is a divine transaction. You are planting seeds of prosperity into the fertile soil of your subconscious, and as you sleep, they will take root. The weeds of doubt, fear, and limitation will be uprooted, and the harvest of abundance will surely come forth. For no seed planted in faith ever returns void. So I ask you now, give yourself permission to listen deeply, to surrender completely, and to allow the truth of these words to sink into the hidden places of your soul. Stay with me until the very end, for what begins as a gentle whisper will grow into a mighty conviction within you, that wealth, freedom, and joy are not distant dreams, but living realities waiting to be claimed. Beloved ones, the first truth I want to bring before you is that the mind in its most relaxed and surrendered state becomes the gateway to abundance. When you are awake and moving through the demands of the day, the conscious mind is busy, analyzing, comparing, worrying, doubting. It speaks loudly, drowning out the still small voice of spirit that whispers of infinite supply. But when the body is quiet, when the breath slows, and when sleep begins to gently cradle you, the conscious mind releases its grip. It is in this space of stillness that the subconscious opens wide, ready to receive impressions, ready to be imprinted with new and higher truths. The power of wealth does not begin in the physical world. It does not begin with opportunities, connections, or effort. Those are but the outer fruits of an inner cause. The seed of wealth is thought, and more than thought, it is the vibration of belief. A thought repeated with conviction becomes a belief, and a belief anchors itself in the subconscious. The subconscious is the soil of your life, and whatever seed is planted there, whether of lack or of plenty, must come forth into manifestation. This is the divine law. When the mind is relaxed, when you drift between waking and sleeping, you enter the most fertile ground for planting seeds of abundance. In that holy silence, doubts do not shout so loudly, and fears no longer hold the same grip. Instead, your inner being becomes receptive, like a field awaiting the rain. And as you gently allow affirmations of prosperity, visions of success, and feelings of plenty to settle into your soul, the subconscious accepts them as true. Once accepted, they begin to work out into your life with certainty, drawing circumstances, opportunities, and ideas that match their vibration. You may have noticed that during the day, you often affirm lack without even realizing it. You may say, "I cannot afford this," or "opportunities never come to me," or "life is hard." And these words, once repeated often enough, become commands to the subconscious. They are seeds planted in the soil of the mind, and just as the earth does not question whether the seed is of wheat or of weeds, the subconscious does not question whether your thought is of lack or of abundance. It simply brings it forth. But here is the great gift you are given. You can choose again. You can replace the words of lack with words of supply. You can speak of abundance even when your purse seems empty, and as you persist in these higher truths, the subconscious accepts them and life begins to rearrange itself in your favor. At night, when you lie in stillness, the conscious mind rests, and the chatter fades away. This is the golden hour, when the subconscious is most impressionable. Imagine, then, what power lies in allowing words of wealth, harmony, and freedom to be poured into your mind as you sleep. Imagine your dreams being infused with visions of plenty, your heart aligning with gratitude for blessings yet unseen, and your soul resting in the assurance that divine supply never fails. As you sleep, You are not idle. You are in communion with the unseen forces of abundance that are always ready to respond to faith. You must understand that wealth is not a matter of chance, nor of hard striving. True wealth is not dependent on effort alone. It flows from alignment. A person may labor without rest, yet never feel secure, never taste abundance. And another may find that blessings flow to them effortlessly, doors opening without struggle, opportunities appearing as if by magic. The difference lies not in effort, but in vibration. It lies in what the subconscious has accepted as truth. The one who holds fear and limitation in the mind will see it reflected outwardly, while the one who holds plenty and faith in the heart will see their world blossom with prosperity. This is why the relaxed state of the mind is so vital. It is the gateway to changing the inner vibration, the moment when new beliefs can be sown. The conscious mind resists change, clings to fears, and repeats old stories of limitation. But in deep relaxation and sleep, resistance falls away, and the soil of the subconscious is open to new seed. This is the divine opportunity given to you each night, to reprogram your inner world, to release the old and embrace the new, to align your thoughts with the frequency of wealth. Do not despise small beginnings. At first, it may feel as though nothing is changing. You may affirm wealth, and yet see little evidence in your outer world. But just as a seed planted beneath the soil does not sprout the next morning, so too must your inner seeds be given time. Trust the process. While you sleep, the roots are forming. While you rest, the unseen work is being done. The seed is alive with possibility, and in due season, the harvest will come forth. Your only task is to plant with faith and refuse to uproot it with doubt. Feel, then, the beauty of allowing yourself to drift to sleep with wealth in your mind and abundance in your heart. Know that the energy of prosperity is surrounding you, that the universe is abundant beyond measure, and that you are one with this infinite supply. Rest in the assurance that life is for you, never against you, and that everything needed for your good is already being arranged. Sleep becomes more than rest. It becomes a sacred act of creation, a nightly alignment with the wealth frequency that shapes your tomorrows. And when you awaken, you rise not merely refreshed in body, but renewed in spirit. The mind has absorbed new impressions of abundance. The heart is filled with quiet confidence, and the soul walks forward knowing that prosperity is not distant, but already flowing toward you. The relaxed mind is not weakness, it is power, for it allows the eternal supply of spirit to work unhindered. Therefore, as you rest tonight, know that your relaxation is the key that unlocks the door to wealth. The quiet mind is the open channel, and as you surrender, you receive. Wealth is born first in stillness, and in stillness, it becomes yours. Beloved ones, the greatest barrier to wealth is not the world outside, but the thoughts and beliefs we have allowed to dwell within. Many live their lives repeating old patterns, speaking words of fear, and expecting disappointment, because deep within their subconscious, they have accepted lack as their portion. Yet life is not meant to be lived in struggle and defeat, for you were created to inherit abundance. What has been hidden in the subconscious can be released, and what has been limiting you can be transformed into freedom. The beauty of sleep meditation lies in this holy truth, that in the stillness of rest, the mind begins to let go of the chains it has carried, and the heart opens to receive something new. Think for a moment how often the conscious mind resists change. When you are awake, you may try to affirm, I am prosperous, I am wealthy, I am free, yet a voice within rises up to contradict you. That voice reminds you of past failures, of unpaid bills, of struggles you have known. It argues, it resists, and it clings to the familiar story of lack. This is because the subconscious has been programmed with old beliefs, and the conscious mind defends them like a guard at the gate. But at night, when sleep comes, that guard lays down its weapons, and the gates of the subconscious swing wide. This is the moment when transformation can take place. As you drift into the state between waking and sleeping, the old patterns of fear begin to loosen. The rigid walls of doubt grow softer. The subconscious, no longer bound by the chatter of the conscious mind, becomes like soft clay in the hands of the potter. In this state, words of abundance, visions of prosperity, and feelings of gratitude can enter without resistance, reshaping the very foundation of your inner life. This is why releasing limiting beliefs during sleep is so powerful. Because the subconscious is impressionable, open, and ready to exchange the old for the new. Consider how many of your present conditions were built upon words you heard long ago. Perhaps as a child you were told that money is scarce, that wealth is for others, that life is hard. Perhaps you watched those before you struggle and believed the same struggle must be yours. These impressions, though false, were planted like seeds in your subconscious. And because the subconscious is fertile, it brought forth in your life what it believed to be true. But those seeds do not define you, and they need not remain. Just as weeds can be uprooted to make way for flowers, so too can old beliefs be pulled out, leaving room for prosperity to bloom. Sleep meditation works gently yet powerfully, for it reaches where no conscious effort can go. While you rest, the words of abundance take root. While you dream, the vibrations of wealth begin to replace vibrations of lack. And in this holy exchange, the subconscious is cleansed of fear and filled with faith. Old programs dissolve like mist in the morning sun, and new convictions are born within you. This is not effort, nor is it struggle. It is the natural process of renewal that takes place when you allow divine truth to enter in. The key is to surrender. For many cling tightly to their fears, rehearsing them day after day, even as they long to be free. But when you give yourself to the process of sleep meditation, you lay down the burden. You allow the words of truth to wash over you, cleansing away old patterns, just as a river washes the stones until they are smooth. Each night you rest in this frequency, the old beliefs lose their power, and the subconscious grows more and more aligned with abundance. What once seemed impossible begins to feel natural, and what once felt distant begins to draw near. You may find, as this process unfolds, that your outer life begins to shift without struggle. Opportunities appear where none existed before. People come into your path who bring blessings, ideas, or open doors. Circumstances rearrange themselves in ways you could not have planned. This is the reflection of the inner work that was done while you slept. For when the subconscious is freed from its chains, the outer world must mirror that freedom. Life cannot resist the truth once it is planted deeply within you. And let me remind you, beloved ones, that release is not always dramatic. It is often quiet, gentle, like snow melting in spring. You may not even notice at first that an old fear is gone, until one day you face a situation that would once have frightened you, and you find yourself calm, assured, unshaken. That is the evidence that the subconscious has been transformed. Where once it clung to fear, it now rests in faith. Where once it expected lack, it now expects supply. Each night you enter this state of meditation, you are participating in a divine exchange. You are trading sorrow for joy, fear for faith, limitation for freedom. You are allowing the old story to fade and the new story of abundance to be written in its place. And this new story will not remain hidden. For what is written in the subconscious is always revealed in the outer life. Just as the seed cannot remain forever beneath the soil, so too must your inner beliefs blossom into visible experiences. So as you rest, do not fear what is being released. Do not cling to the old out of habit or familiarity. Trust that what leaves you was never meant to stay. Trust that every belief of lack, every fear of insufficiency, every thought of struggle is dissolving because it cannot stand against the truth of divine supply. And know that as these falsehoods fade, new truths are taking their place. Truths of abundance, truths of freedom, truths of infinite wealth that flows to you without end. Allow this process to carry you, night after night, deeper into freedom. Know that as you sleep, your subconscious is being reprogrammed, your life is being reshaped, and your destiny is being aligned with the frequency of prosperity. For no limiting belief can remain where truth has taken root, and no fear can survive in the presence of faith. And so I tell you, release what no longer serves you, for as you sleep, the wealth frequency takes hold, and you awaken more free, more prosperous, and more aligned with the abundance that is already yours. Beloved ones, everything in this universe vibrates. Every sound, every thought, every emotion carries its own frequency, and those frequencies attract to themselves that which is like them. You have seen how joy draws more joy, how fear invites more fear, and how gratitude multiplies blessings. Wealth, too, has its own vibration, its own frequency that is ever present and always available. It is not reserved for the few, nor hidden away from the many. It is like a radio signal always being broadcast, waiting for you to tune your inner being to its channel. The question is never whether wealth is there. The question is whether you are aligned with its frequency. When you sleep, when the mind releases its grasp on worries, when the body rests from labor, you are in the perfect state to attune yourself to that vibration of abundance. Sleep meditation is not merely about calming the mind. It is about shifting the entire current of your inner life so that it flows in harmony with the wealth frequency. You do not chase wealth when you are aligned. Wealth is drawn to you, as naturally as iron is drawn to the magnet. Opportunities, ideas, and people who carry blessings begin to appear, not by effort alone, but by resonance. Think of it as tuning a stringed instrument. If one string vibrates at a certain note, the strings around it will begin to hum in sympathy when the same note is played. They are not touched, yet they resonate, because they share the same frequency. So it is with your life. When your inner being hums with the vibration of prosperity, the outer world responds. Business opportunities, financial resources, supportive people, and creative ideas are drawn to you without struggle because they are in harmony with the song your soul is playing. But many do not realize that they are vibrating with the wrong tune. They may desire wealth, yet inwardly they are humming with fear, doubt, or a sense of unworthiness. And the universe, being just and exact, reflects back to them the frequency they carry. It is not punishment, it is simply law. As long as one vibrates with fear of loss, they experience loss. As long as one vibrates with lack, they experience lack. Yet the moment one shifts into the vibration of wealth, everything begins to change. Sleep meditation is one of the most powerful tools for this shift, for during those sacred hours, you are no longer actively resisting. In the waking state, the conscious mind often interrupts, saying, "This cannot be true for me. I have too many debts. I have too many obstacles. I have failed too often." But as you sleep, the conscious mind quiets, and the subconscious listens without judgment. It absorbs the vibration being impressed upon it. This is why words of wealth, images of abundance, and feelings of gratitude spoken and felt during sleep become so powerful. They bypass the resistance of the conscious and settle deeply into the subconscious, tuning you like an instrument to the frequency of prosperity. Imagine yourself as a receiver. If you tune a radio to the wrong station, you cannot blame the station for the static. It is only a matter of adjusting your dial. In the same way, you must adjust your inner dial to the frequency of wealth. Sleep meditation gently turns that dial each night, little by little, until the static of fear and doubt is replaced by the clear and steady signal of abundance. And once you are aligned, there is no effort needed to attract wealth. It flows naturally, effortlessly, because you are resonating with it. Alignment does not mean striving harder. It means surrendering to the truth that abundance is already present, already flowing, already waiting for you to receive it. The river of supply has never ceased to flow, only your inner vibration has blocked its path. When you attune yourself to the wealth frequency, you step into that river, and its current carries you forward. Opportunities seem to find you without force, solutions present themselves with ease, and provision comes in unexpected yet perfect ways. Do not believe that wealth is created only by labor. Labor alone, without alignment, leads to exhaustion and frustration. But labor joined with alignment becomes fruitful, for then you are not working against the current, but flowing with it. Every action you take when you are aligned with wealth is magnified, multiplied, and blessed. The same work that once brought little now brings plenty, because the vibration within you has changed. And you may ask, how will I know when I am aligned with the wealth frequency? You will know by the peace you feel, by the gratitude that arises in your heart, by the quiet assurance that supply is always on its way. You will notice that fear loses its hold, that anxiety loosens its grip, and that you wake with a sense of expectancy rather than dread. The outer evidence may not appear all at once, but the inner knowing will already be present. That knowing itself is the first sign of alignment, and the outer results must follow in time, for the inner always precedes the outer. Each night you rest in this meditation. Each night you allow the wealth frequency to enter your soul. You are strengthening your alignment. You are like a compass being reset to true north. At first, it may wobble, pulled by the old patterns of lack and fear. But with persistence, the needle steadies, and soon it always points to abundance. Once that alignment is steady, your life begins to reflect it in ways both great and small. A small blessing here, an unexpected provision there, a new idea, a chance encounter. All are signs that the wealth frequency is working in you and through you. The more you stay in this vibration, the less effort is needed. You begin to live in flow, where life itself seems to arrange in your favor. The people you need appear at the right time, the doors you need open with ease, and even challenges turn to blessings, revealing opportunities for increase. This is the natural result of alignment, for the universe always responds to the vibration you hold. So as you sleep, let go of every thought of lack, release every fear of not enough. Surrender every belief that wealth is difficult, scarce, or distant. Instead, breathe in the truth that wealth is a frequency already surrounding you, waiting only for your alignment. Allow your mind to harmonize with it, your heart to feel it, and your soul to rest in it. Know that as you drift into sleep, you are not just resting, you are tuning, you are aligning, you are becoming one with the vibration of prosperity that cannot fail to manifest. And when you awaken, you rise not as one who is hoping for wealth, but as one who is already aligned with it, already living in its flow, already magnetizing it into every area of life. For the one who is in harmony with the wealth frequency cannot be kept from abundance, just as the sun cannot be kept from rising. Beloved ones, there is a holy mystery in the way you rise from your rest. The night is not merely for sleep, and the morning is not merely for waking. Each night carries within it the power of transformation, and each morning carries within it the proof of what has been sown in the secret place of the subconscious. As you allow your heart and mind to soak in the frequency of wealth while you rest, you do not simply drift into silence. You are rewritten. The old patterns of thought are dissolved. The new patterns of abundance are planted, and the soul awakens to a new rhythm. When you open your eyes at dawn, you are not the same as when you closed them. Something unseen has shifted, and that shift is the very foundation of wealth made visible. So many rise in the morning burdened, before the day has even begun. They open their eyes and immediately reach for the memory of yesterday's fears, yesterday's disappointments, yesterday's worries. They carry yesterday into today, and then wonder why today looks so much like yesterday. But you, who have surrendered yourself to the meditation of wealth during your rest, awaken with a different spirit. You rise not with heaviness, but with expectancy. You carry not the weight of yesterday, but the promise of today. You feel within you that something is unfolding, that a new current is carrying you, that abundance is no longer a distant dream, but a living reality drawing nearer with every step. There is a quiet strength that comes upon those who have aligned themselves in their sleep. It is not a loud boast, nor a frantic striving, but a deep and steady confidence that everything needed will be supplied. This confidence is not born of circumstances. It is born of alignment. You may not see the wealth yet with your eyes, but you feel it with your spirit, and that feeling becomes the magnet that draws it into manifestation. For life always mirrors the inner vibration, and when you rise with the wealth frequency humming within you, the outer world cannot help but respond. Consider how the day unfolds differently when you begin it with this alignment. The thoughts you think in the morning set the tone for all that follows. When your first thoughts are filled with lack, the whole day bends under the weight of that vibration. But when your first thoughts are filled with gratitude, abundance, and expectancy, the day opens before you like a garden in bloom. Even the smallest events are colored with light. A simple meeting may bring an unexpected blessing, a chance conversation may open a new door, and an ordinary task may lead to extraordinary opportunity. These are not accidents. They are the reflections of the frequency you carry within you. Sleep meditation prepares you for this by ensuring that the very first vibration of the morning is already aligned. You awaken not empty, but full. Not weary, but restored. Not anxious, but assured. The night has done its work, the subconscious has been nourished, and now the conscious mind is ready to step into its role as the steward of wealth. What was whispered in the silence of the night becomes the conviction of the day, and you walk in the certainty that abundance is yours. This is why you must not despise the small shifts you feel when you awaken. Sometimes the change is not in the outer world at first, it is within you. Perhaps you notice that you rise with peace, where once there was worry, or with joy where once there was dread. These are not small things. They are signs that the wealth frequency is already shaping you. And once the inner shape has been formed, the outer will soon follow. Life must reflect the pattern within. As you step into your day carrying this energy, you become like a magnet drawing to yourself the very things that confirm your belief. The people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the resources that flow, all respond to the vibration you hold. You do not have to force it, you do not have to chase it, you do not have to strain for it. You only have to remain in the alignment that sleep has prepared for you. The morning becomes proof of the night's meditation, and the day becomes the stage upon which abundance makes itself known. Many believe that wealth comes through restless striving, but those who align know the deeper truth. Wealth flows through faith, through expectancy, through harmony with the divine law of supply. When you rise with that law written upon your heart, every action you take is multiplied. Even the smallest effort bears fruit, for it is not effort alone that creates wealth, but effort joined with alignment. The man who labors without alignment may toil endlessly and gather little, while the one who works in harmony with the wealth frequency finds that blessings flow to him without struggle. The morning sets this harmony in motion, and the day carries it into form. As you live in this rhythm, you will find that each night prepares you, and each morning confirms you. It becomes a cycle of growth, a spiral of increase, where every day builds upon the last. Wealth begins not as an outer possession, but as an inner certainty, and once that certainty has been fully established, the outer wealth must come, for the law is unchanging. The inner always creates the outer. So I tell you, beloved ones, when you awaken, do not rush into the noise of the world. Take a moment to feel the alignment within you. Breathe in the assurance that abundance surrounds you. Recognize the subtle shift, the quiet peace, the expectancy that has been planted during the night. These are the first fruits of your meditation, and they are the promise of the greater harvest to come. Walk into your day with that assurance, and you will see that wealth flows to you not because you chase it, but because you carry it. For the one who awakens aligned with the wealth frequency becomes a living magnet of abundance, and life cannot help but pour its riches into the hands of the one who is ready to receive.